Hi, I'm NateBob27 and it's Christmas season. It's officially Christmas time and it's my favorite time of year because I just love the whole Christmas vibe, the Christmas tree, everybody being nice to each other, all the candy, and all the end of year YouTube videos that are all just sort of themed around Christmas. And I also love Christmas because I know we're starting to get close to a new year, and also I know that my birthday's right around the corner, so good for me. Anyways, I love Christmas because it's so close to the start of a new year and I get to be excited about what might happen in the next year, and I can also wish for what will happen in the next year. And so that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna go over my wish list for what I hope is going to happen in the gaming space in 2024. Let's get into it. But before that, I need to remind you to smash that subscribe button to become a member of the channel and click the bell icon to get notified every time we put out a new video. But with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Let's go. So first off, I think 2024 is going to be a very important year in gaming because the Switch 2 is going to come out, and I am going to go over all my wishes for that at the end. But for now, let's talk about the Switch games that are going to come out, and specifically the ones that are already announced. So I hope there's going to be a direct in February or March. Maybe it could be a mini. It's just going to lock in a lot of the titles that we already have announced, like Thousand Year Door, Luigi's Mansion, and Peach. So I really think that's going to happen, and I hope it's going to happen because I really want to get the Switch stuff out of the way at the beginning of the year so we can get into Switch 2 stuff. And I really think that the direct is just going to be very low-key. It's not going to announce anything new, but I do hope that Thousand Year Door is going to come out around July because I think it's going to be a very good game to sort of bridge the gap into Switch 2. I hope Princess Peach SoTime gets released around the same time as Thousand Year Door because those two games can go pretty well hand in hand to each other. And then Luigi's Mansion can be something in the beginning of the year. So that is going to be the first direct, the February direct in the year. I hope that's going to happen. And then as we start moving along into the year, I hope we get more and more rumors about the Switch 2. Just give us a little bit more information about what it's going to be before it actually comes out. And then it's going to keep going like that until summer, June, July. And then June's going to be hopefully when Thousand Year Door Remake comes out. And I have a couple of wishes for that. I hope it's very faithful to the original. I hope it's still an amazing game, and I hope that it sells well. It has to at least sell better than Origami King, so Nintendo knows that we want experiences like Thousand Year Door instead of Origami King. So I hope it sells at least 4 million copies to really send a message to Nintendo. And then for the Peach game, I just hope it's not like a kiddie Disney princess Peach go on an adventure made for like a 3-year-old. I hope it has some more depth to it because the most recent trailer hasn't exactly given me confidence in that, but I have to keep hoping. And then finally, the Luigi's Mansion 3 port. I really like Luigi's Mansion, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be really good. I hope they sort of do something with like the leveling system. Like, I know a lot of people didn't really like that, so I hope they find a way to sort of smooth it over a little bit. And then that's it for the previously announced games on Switch. I am going to start with how the Switch 2 is going to be revealed. So the Switch got revealed with like a little tiny teaser trailer and then a big blowout, and then it actually released. So I think the teaser trailer for the Switch 2 will be in July instead of like, it would be in the spot of a June or July direct, but instead it will be the teaser trailer and maybe like a broad release date like November or something. I hope it's like that. And then in like probably September or August or sometime like in between when it comes out and when it was teased, we get like the blowout. It was like the January event for the Switch, but it's for the Switch 2. Now, some specs. I want it to be 4K. Now, it can just be a 1080p screen in handheld, but I want it to be 4K on the big screen because if you want to compete with the PS4 or Xbox Series X, then you're gonna really want to get 4K and at least 80 FPS, preferably 120, but I don't think they're really gonna go for that powerful of a console. I hope the battery life is pretty good, or I mean, you know, like some like fancy phones like charge the battery from the heat that's exerted from the chip, so maybe they could do something fancy like that. I don't really know. All I know is that the battery life has to be better than the Steam Deck, because why wouldn't you just buy a Steam Deck instead of a Switch if the Steam Deck's better? So I really hope they make it better, and I also hope they have multiple cartridge slots, because a disc, you can easily insert a disc because it's not that hard, but cartridges, you have to like push it down and pull it out and then open up the tab. How about you have multiple cartridge slots for it, like you have 4 of them, so it's just like a digital game where you just choose it on the home menu without switching out the cartridge, because physical games are a pain compared to digital ones, and I really want to have more physical games, but it's hard for me because it's just so difficult to change it out when you can just click on a digital game and it automatically pops up. So hopefully multiple cartridge slots, and I want it to come out in November because that would be a normal holiday release. The Switch came out in March, which was because they were trying to like push it out really fast because the Wii U was doing bad, but now they have time because the Switch is doing pretty well, and you would get a lot better sales if it was in the holiday than in March. So I really hope it's at the end, preferably in November, but December would do, maybe October. And I hope that they have like a $300 version that only has like 120 gigabytes, and then like a $350 version with like 256 gigabytes, and then like 516 would be like 400, and then up to $500, which would be like 2 terabytes, something like that. And they could also do something like with the battery life, like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, depending on how expensive the console is. So I really hope they do that. And speaking of pricing, I'm just anywhere in between $300 and $500 with the different amounts of storage and battery life would be good. And I also hope they do an OLED screen, because why would you downgrade? Downgrading makes no sense. You need to upgrade. And then for games that I hope will be on it, you gotta get that Metroid Prime 4. It's been like 6 years or something ever since they restarted development, and Metroid Prime 4 might just be the game with the most hype behind it on YouTube at least, and I really want to play Metroid Prime 4, and maybe it could be a cross-gen, like running at 4K on the Switch 2 and 1080p on the Switch 1. That would be something cool, and I really think Metroid Prime 4 would be a very good launch title like Breath of the Wild was for the Switch, so I really think that's gonna happen. And maybe like a couple weeks after launch we get something like Mario Kart 9, which I have a whole nother set of wishes for. Just watch my video on it. I mean, click the card up in the corner if you haven't watched it. It's a pretty good video. And I also think there's gonna be a new 3D Mario, something like Odyssey 2, or maybe a brand new something with Mario Kingdom or something like that. But I do have one very specific wish, well, 2 very specific wishes for it. I hope that it's an open world experience like Bowser's Fury, but it's more open and it's more of a substantial experience. And I also hope that they have a Bowser's Fury-esque side experience next to the main game, just to give it something supplementary. I think that'll be really cool, and it'll, like, you could just do Bowser's Fury too, and I would be happy because that's just how much I like Bowser's Fury. Anyways, I really hope that the new 3D Mario is big and meaty, and I also want the platforming to be good, and I want it to be not as divisive as Mario Odyssey, and I want there to be a Bowser's Fury side experience. So there you go. Those were my wishes for 2024. Now, do I have any non-Nintendo wishes? Yes, I actually do. I have Resident Evil Revelations 3. Come on, I know we just got Resident Evil 4 Remake this year, but I really do want Resident Evil Revelations 3 because raid mode is so much fun, and I really want to get a new Resident Evil experience on the Switch. Hey, you could put it on the Switch too. And then finally, Bloodborne Remaster on PS5. I want that. Give it to us. Why can't you just port it to PS5 or give us a PS4 Pro version? Just give us the Bloodborne, please. And so there you go. Those were my wishes for 2024. What were your wishes for 2024? Tell me in the comments down below. Next year, we'll see if any of my wishes came true. And I'm NateBob27, and I'll see you in the next video.